have our Attorney General, Jonathan Skrmetti, with us this morning to share more about virtual town halls. General Skrmetti, thank you again, and it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. So we have been looking hard at social media, and there's just mounting evidence that there are severe negative impacts from social media, especially on younger people, on teenagers. And there are psychological impacts that are having a really profound effect and doing a lot of damage. And we know that the companies have been doing everything they can to promote engagement, whether or not that's causing harm. And there's evidence out there in public right now that the companies knew that there were harms that were resulting from their work to promote engagement. We want to look at that. We want to hold these companies accountable, and we want to make sure that going forward, the things that they've been doing that have been hurting kids the most stop. And so part of that process is to have these town halls. We are looking to hear from people around Tennessee. We're looking to hear from parents and from kids, from teachers, from other people in the community who have seen the effects of social media addiction and abuse on children. And that's both to get a better perspective on how this is affecting our state. We know it's a problem nationwide. We know it's a problem in Tennessee. We need more detail. And also because we are putting together cases. And when it comes down to it, if we put on a trial, we'll have our experts to talk about economics, about psychology, about technology. But we also need real people to get in there and tell the jury or tell the court exactly how this has affected their families. And so this isn't just a listening session. This is potentially trial prep for us.
Wow, and a lot of engagement there. How do people get in touch with you, whether it be a parent or teacher, or if a student wants to reach out to you? How can they get to you to share their story and what's happened to them?
Sure. So in the last weeks in March, we're going to be going across the state doing town hall meetings. We'll give people an opportunity to come, to sign up, to speak. If they're not able to get on the speaking schedule there, we'll have ways for them to connect and provide their stories and become available for further inquiry. In addition to that, we always take consumer complaints. I believe it is tn.gov/consumer is the website. Anybody can come and file a consumer complaint there, and it will go to our consumer protection team. So if somebody has something pressing, or if they want to be absolutely sure we hear their story, they can always go through that route. But we're really hoping that the town hall meetings will be an opportunity for the community to come out and just really speak to the harms that this has caused and give us an opportunity to potentially build a really powerful case. We hope that things settle. We hope these companies do the right thing and say, gosh, we really don't want to be hurting kids this way. We're going to stop. We're going to dial it back. We're going to put protections in place. But if they don't, we have the legal tools and we have a really good team of lawyers, and we will make them. You can't go out there and do this kind of damage while making that much money and expect that you're going to get away with it forever.
I do hope that you're right. I hope they will just stop. Now, with these town hall meetings, will you be going there in person, or will this be done virtually, or both?
No, we'll all be going in person. I'll be traveling there with a team of folks from my office, people from the consumer protection team. Okay. We'll be facilitating the conversations and talking to community leaders, and then listening to parents and listening to other folks who are involved with kids.
Before I get over to really holding big tech companies accountable, how do we get on your list to be one of the cities, one of the towns that you visit for the town hall meeting?
My team's working on putting it together now. I believe we're already going to aim to do one up in Clarksville.
Oh, nice.
We recognize that's a big and growing community. And, I'd like to get back there. I think there are a lot of people there who have these concerns.
Well, now switching gears a little bit, going to big tech companies and holding them accountable. I know you guys have been working extremely hard since November on this. How are your efforts going with holding them accountable?
Well, we're working on a number of different avenues right now. We're looking at social media, but we also have some antitrust work going on. We have 2 trials coming up against Google, one of them involving the in-app payment program, and the other one, the bigger one, aimed squarely at their search monopoly. That trial is going to happen in the fall, and I think that's the big one. That's potentially going to either solve a lot of problems or solidify Google's dominant position in ways that are going to continue to adversely affect the market. On top of that, we're looking at several consumer protection angles, involving things like Google location tracking, which we had a settlement in recently. And we're looking at all the big tech companies to ensure consumer protection compliance. There is a lot going on there. I'm hoping that we get a bigger team in place soon. I've asked the legislature for some more resources. And, we're just plugging away as best we can, looking at every angle and trying to identify the most important, most urgent places. And certainly the effect on teenagers from social media seems to be just the glaringly obvious place where there is a desperate need for intervention right now.
100%. General Skrmetti, thank you again so much for your time. Anything else that you would like to share with us before you leave us this morning?
Well, we're plugging away on that. Our consumer protection team is looking at a lot of different issues. I'm meeting with some of the folks from the Better Business Bureau later this week to talk about how we might help with some of the more bread and butter consumer issues. We want to hear from people when you have problems, and we want to work hard to try to solve them. So I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Yes, sir. We thank you for coming on and look forward to sitting down with you again in the very near future.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a great day. Bye.